Okay, I think we should start. Now it is 6:35 and other member can join later. Mm. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Good
Yes,
evening,
sir.
sir.
Good evening. Good
Yes.
evening to all participant of today's workshop series. As for your information, I have as we have already started in the last Saturday this workshop regarding how to write dissertation in master degree. So in the last two sessions, Professor Asutosh Pradhan was uh, speaking us how to what are the structure of a dissertation, how to begin with a dissertation in a master degree level, and what are the different components of dissertation. And basically he also taught us regarding the sampling process of designing sampling tool, sorry, data collection tools, and also helped us the basic foundation things, basic things like know how to enter data and analyze it. uh, Today we have with us the speaker Dr. Gangotri Das. Dr. Das is she completed her master degree from National Institute of Social Work and Social Sciences. After that, she was awarded with the prestigious UGC JRF Fellowship, uh, and enrolled her PhD in Mysore University, and subsequently she completed it. Coming to the professional experience, Dr. Das has around 8 years of professional experience. She has basically worked in the field of social science research and in the field of development. And the basic area Dr. Das has covered in his research and development work was public health, education, gender, was environment, and so on. So I, from on behalf of Ganalok and on behalf of all member participating in this program, I welcome Dr. Das to this workshop, and I am sure that this program will be again is a very good one, and it will definitely help all the participants to become expert in the field of writing proposal, dissertation, and the field where they are working in order to write the report. Definitely it will also be helpful for them. So without any delay, I welcome Dr. Das. And at the same time, I also want to remind all member participants regarding the Saturday lecture series that I have already told you. In this series, since 90% of students or participants over here are from social work field, so I request you all, please write to us in the mail ID that we have already been shared with you regarding the issue you need to be or the issue that we need to discuss. Likewise, we will invite different speakers from different field throughout India, and we are planning for every Saturday we will organize a lecture series on a particular issue, again that will be connected to the field of social work, how to being a social work professional, how to handle a particular issue by applying different methods of social work. So thank you so much. Please write to us through the mail, or you have already been also added in the WhatsApp group of the Gyanalo. So in that group, you can also write to us. So thank you so much, and I welcome once again to Dr. Das. Over to you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Pradeep.
Please,
Thank you for
please,
introducing.
I request all, please mute. When we will have question answer session, you can ask question. But now I found some sounds, background sounds. So please mute yourself and let us listen to Dr. Das. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Pradeep. Thank you for introducing. Good
Yeah,
evening, everyone. Yeah. Hi, Jayasree. You want to tell something? Yeah, okay. Sure. So, yes. So, Pradeep has already introduced me, but it's I let me just start. Before I start, I would just like to tell all of you that I'm so sorry. My voice is so bad today, but I hope we will manage with it and the session will be interactive. If you have any doubt which is coming or any question, please put that in the chat box. During the discussion, I may not be able to see the chat box, but after that we will be seeing. And if you want somewhere, please raise your hand. There is a symbol to raise hand. You can raise your hand so that we know that you can pause me. But so if you keep putting your questions on the chat box, it will be kind of, you will not forget that. So at least when we will be discussing, we can take off each question. Okay. But Sarani, you want to say something now? Or you are just trying out the raise symbol? Okay. Let me share my screen, then we will just hope my screen is visible to everyone. Hello.
yes,
Yes, it is
ma'am.
visible.
Yeah, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 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 Sure. Sure. Thank you. Yes. So, already the topic is to discuss about what is the kind of the report, like how to prepare a report. What I understand, like what during my work, what I did, what I like observe from what other people did, what my colleagues did, what my seniors did, what my guide was doing. So all that thing, so compiling all the experiences, I have just prepared this PPT, understanding what basic things you would like to take. So before you we start writing a report, I just tell it is a story. It's not just a report, because report is something which is like, obviously, like we are writing a report, but nowadays when we are thinking about something and we are putting it, it's a story for us, and how we are organizing the story. I will come back. So so let's call it, it's the time to tell a story and how you are going to tell the story. Here we will be covering the whole thing, like how we are preparing a story to how we are ending that story. And in that you will get a sense of like how, what are the each step you are going to take care when you are preparing a report. So let me just tell about myself. Already Pradeep has told, but apart from that, I'm just a social researcher who are passionate about to learn and to tell stories. And I'm a mother. So that's all about me, and this is my email ID. If you have any doubt, you can kind of like email it to this, and I will obviously revert back. So why I told I am just telling a story. There is a kind of, this is a website I would like all of you to go through, because it is a important part of the, nowadays we are talking about design thinking a lot. So which is a very basic thing, which is not a very big thing, but when I hear that word, it seems like, okay, this is design thinking. But it is a very basic thing. So what I like to tell, so while the research must focus on the fact and figure, yes, we are not going to take talk about anything fictional. We are not going to tell about some WhatsApp story or something what we heard from others, or we are not going to create a story. We are telling the people what we learn from people. So when we connect the data with emotions, and that is what the stories tell. So our, when we prepare basically in the social sciences, when we are writing a report, it's not just about data, it's not just about numbers, it's about something more. We ask that data why, what happened, why this data is coming like that, and then our story evolves. So I am maybe at this stage to think that you are maybe not able to kind of think, okay, how I will ask that question, I will come to that. But now let's think that, okay, how I can make my reader understand my data in the form of a story. It's a like, so that's why I just told let's start with a story. And what are the different part again? So when I talk about a story, there is a context, there is conflict, there is a climax, and there is a closer. So you know when a story starts, it starts with introducing different characters, introducing different backgrounds, the villages, the roads, the all the other things, and then it talks about a conflict. Yeah, all the things are there, but then there is a problem. Some problem is there, something is there. So whether it is a whether somebody is a villain, or whether some family issue is there, or some kind of thing is there, right? Then we go slowly towards the solution. That is the climax. So then the climax, we get the solution. Yes, this is the problem. The solution is this. Then what we give? We give the vision for the future. That is the closer we give. We thank, complete, we are happy with the story. So similarly in research, the context is the research. What you have already learned, what Pradeep had told that ki last two sessions you have been learning, all the things that is your context. Sorry. You also know about the conflict. You know what is your topic of area, the broad area of research, what you want to do, what you want to study, which area you want to study. Then, but you want here, when you are collecting data, when you are formulating your design, that is you are going towards the climax. You are giving a solution. And finally, the vision for the future. Yes. So we will just quickly recap it, and then I would just like to tell, if you can just put down on the chat box your opinion. Sorry. So you select, no, this is the whole journey of your research, isn't it? You select an area of research, you do the review of literature, you narrow down the topic and then give it a title. Maybe your interest area is, for example, somebody may be very much interested into to learn something about the child, like the children issue. But it is such a vast area. You are doing review and you are narrowing it down, and you are giving it a title, a small title, what you want to study, a focus title, isn't it? Then you are going to frame the objective, what exactly you want to study. And then your design and tool preparation starts, your finalization starts, data collection happens, then data analysis, and the final point is report preparation. But when I talk about this report preparation, it has to take all these things into account. How you started, how you narrow it down, what review you did, how you prepared the tool, how you collected the data, how you analyze the data, and then what is your finding. So all the things are coming. That is what you are kind of like binding it together in the report. So all these important points are very important. Like it is very important to start documenting from the beginning itself, so that you are clear and you are not missing out anything when you are preparing a report. Most of the time during dissertation, when what happens, we are so much like into the problem that we start doing lot of things, but we forget to document those things. We go to field, for example, a simple thing, we forget to collect the data, like take a photo of that, or we note down in our thinking, okay, first day what I observed, or what challenges I had when I kind of like encounter with a gatekeeper. Like you went to a community, somebody asked you, no, you can't do the data collection. Then you went and you talked to the Pradhan. Then the Pradhan helped you in some manner. Then you went and you talked to the Anganwadi worker. That is a process you followed. But your report is not reflecting that because you have not documented it. What happens? The importance of your process gets lost. So then your story doesn't come. It only comes, okay, what was necessary? You went, you did the data collection, you are presenting. But when you bring these challenges into your topic, when you discuss this, that gives future vision. So my point will be, you please start documenting from the beginning of the thing. So anything, anybody, any question here, anything to tell?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, how come we document those things during our research? Is there
Yes.
any process or what?
Yeah, there is no process. No, I'll not give you a kind of like what, but what you need to do, what I do, I will share with you. Always keep a diary and pen with you when you are doing a research, because you don't know what, when, and at what time you are getting an idea, or at what time you are getting some kind of thing. So just put a date, note it down. That diary has to be a separate diary. You are putting the date, noting it down so that you are not forgetting. And the other thing I will always tell you, maintain a journal. How you are maintaining a journal, you can maintain that on a Excel sheet also. Put a date, just as a discipline, just put a date. Right, today I met so and so. This was the topic of discussion. This is the conclusion. So what happens? It is always easier to kind of compile the Excel file when you are doing in that way. Or today I read this document. This is something I want to read more about it, so that you will not forget that. So if you whole journey, you will maintain a journal in a Excel or in a diary, no, that will kind of help you in your reporting stage to write the limitation, to write the challenges, to write the recommendations. All this part where we actually struggle, those part will be easy for us.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I have a doubt on research study.
Yeah.
Uh, when we are visit in the field for a research study, can you
Yeah.
first planning that which tools or which techniques we should follow for study purposes, research study purposes?
Yeah. Yes. Can you please repeat the question? I just lost you for a second.
Uh,
There's
I want to know when we are visit to the field or to the village
yeah.
for research study on
Yeah.
the particular topic or
Yes.
particular paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Can we before prepare the plan for data collection or a tool or and techniques for research study?
Yes, you can, but what I am saying, there is always two visit. One, you are doing the visit to do the data collection. That is your final visit, right? But before
Yes.
that, it is always advisable if you can go and see that field once. Because if that field is known to you, for example, you are doing there the regular your field visits, and in that particular community only you are going to do the research, then that's fine. You are doing, you
Yes.
know that community. But if you have taken a new area, if you have taken a something new, you new agency where you want to do some data collection, always visit. So that visit, that we call a lot of time pilot visit. Pilot is sometimes very structured and sometimes not so structured. When it is very structured, when you have the data collection tool with your hand, you go, you do some 20-30 interview, come back, see that data, check that data, change your kind of use, check which question your respondent could not respond, which questions were difficult to kind of ask. Then you change all that thing. That is a very structured way.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
so structured is what? You go, interact with some gatekeepers, understand what is their thing. That is something you need to, yeah, yeah.
If the community people recognize also, he also not demanded for the data and he give a true fact about the research purpose data. If the people are unknown for us, if we visit for collect data collection, they also wrong data could be provided themselves, obviously.
It is not about wrong and right. In research, I don't think so there is anything, because when we are going to the data collection, we are reading them out a consent, isn't it? And if one person is ready, then only we are going ahead with the data collection. So one of the important point of our consent is to tell them, see, there is no right and wrong answer, because what we are collecting about their knowledge about certain social issues, so which can be right for some people and not right for some other people. Maybe their attitude, maybe their perception, maybe their practices which they think it is right. So we want to know what they think, how they are doing it, right, isn't it? So
Yes.
uh, so our always our approach should be yes, there is no right and no wrong answer. And when you are developing the tool, sir must have already told you, we generally avoid any leading question. Leading question means what? Are you using this particular medicine? We generally don't ask. What we ask indirectly we ask, isn't it? So that because people may there will be a lot of biases. So that's why I like when you are talking about this particular point, we can come back because we have other point to discuss. The particular point, what my suggestion is, do a unstructured private pilot visit. That always helps.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks.
So let me go to the next. I think some people are waiting in the lobby. Uh, okay. So what we are today going to cover. Sorry, my voice is so bad today, so it may be not very pleasant for you to hear, but can't help. Preparation to create your story. So we will be talking about the process of compiling the details for the report, connecting the dots, like what are the different dots, organizing your finding, then finally telling the story, writing it down. So all this point we will be covering. So let me just share a report quickly with you. You are able to see my screen, right? Yeah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is a dated report by Delhi. This is published report by Jagori. Jagori is a women organization which did a survey in Delhi, and they generally do. So there is uh, why I took this because this is a small report. I didn't want to take very long report because of time constraint. So I will just quickly show you what are the different aspect of the report. So this is the understanding women's safety towards a gender inclusive city. So that is something research finding Delhi. So I will come back. So there are not everything right about this report. And there is something which you need to know what is right and what is not so right and what is good. So that you will not kind of like make that mistake when you are going to do. So this remember this topic, understanding women's safety towards gender inclusive city. Okay. I will come back later. Okay, all these things are here. Yeah. So this is the content page where what are the different one we saw the title page. Then this is the content page is here. After content page, we have some abbreviations. Then the acknowledgements are there. Then we have the executive summary. And this is the introduction. And after introduction, the review starts. So the women's safety in Delhi, what are the review says? Review of literature starts. Then it is talking about the campaign. Then they are talking about the findings. So this is something they have covered. And if I go towards the end, they have given the conclusion. 1 second. Yeah. So the areas they have, these are all findings they have prepared. So this is different type of findings. So they're trying to prepare some locations, and in that location, what was the issue? What is the green zone? What is the red zone? Then the conclusion and the way forward, bibliography, appendixes. Okay. So these are the different part of the report. So all of you saw that, right? Uh, Let me go back to the parts of the report. So as we see, there is a background section, there is a body section, there is a closer section, right? So background section with a title is coming, table of content, abbreviations, acknowledgement, and executive summary. These are the part things which are coming in the background. Then in the body, you are introducing your topic. You are noting it, the review of literature is explained. Approach and methodology, which was not there in that particular report. So that is something. So they have kind of merged approach also in the introduction part, but this is a section which is important. Then the discussion on the findings. Closer is the conclusion, bibliography, and the annexures. isn't it? So this is your whole structure of your report. So by thinking whatever report you might have seen or you might have worked with other people or any time, what is the most difficult for you? Can you please chat it in the chat box? Can you put down which part in this report you find most difficult? Quickly, 2 minutes, if you can just put down.
What yes, ma'am. Body report.
Yeah, you can put down in the chat box what you find. Somebody is saying the volume is too low. Am I audible now? So I'll just try to. I am in 100% actually. Okay. Okay, methodology. Anyone else? Anything else? Agya is saying methodology. Saroj is saying methodology. Anybody else? Closer. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? Quickly. If nothing else, then we can start considering the time we have. Yeah. Yes. So as rightly said, methodology is one of the part because we know, acha, हम लोग तो like we did this face-to-face data collection and we prepared a report. We know this the sample size is this. So what to write in the methodology again? How long it should be? Whether it if I tell it can be just 3 lines. How I will write that? That is obviously conclusion. Yeah, we are very good in discussing. Okay, this is my finding. This is my finding. This is my finding. But how I will conclude? If you see most of the report, most of the articles, the conclusion is always very haphazard. Certain reports are very good conclusions are there. When they conclude it, the conclusion means they connect all the dots and they conclude it. And sometimes what happens, people do a bigger mistake in conclusion. What they do some kind of review they do and they put down in the conclusion. Or they repeat same discussion in the conclusion. So what happens? There is no difference. It is not concluding. It is just saying the same thing in a different way. So that I noted. I also have seen there is a difficulty in the introduction, how to introduce the topic. Review of literature, I understand. I have like compiled from different document, different articles, paper. But how this introduction? And then review of literature, what is the problem happens? Repetitive. You are writing lot of things but like you don't know because there is plagiarism. So but you are not understanding ki I am anyway giving the source. So is it a plagiarized? No. Or yes. What should I do? Am I writing it as in a very repetitive word? Okay. The A and B said this, C and D said this, E and F said this many percentage, this many percentage. Is it going to be very repetitive? So that is the main difficulty what I have seen in the review of literature, isn't it? So we will discuss these small issues which makes the report bit less like what could have been done better in that, right? So let me first start with the first part, writing title of your study. Now you will tell me what is the big deal here. I know my study. I have given the title to it. Can't I write like title? Just now I showed you one report. Here you saw your title. After I talk to you, you tell me whether this title is complete or not complete. Okay. Writing title of your study. Let me start. Cap towards diet and health. What you are understanding here? Is it a complete one?
No, it is not
Okay.
complete.
Let me go to next. Knowledge, attitude, and perception towards diet and health. So first thing is no abbreviation, kind of no short forms in the report title. That is one thing. Never. Second thing is this a complete one? Knowledge, attitude, and practice towards diet and health. How many think it is a complete?
No.
No. Okay. Why it is no?
The sentence is not completed. It is partly completed.
Yeah, one of the thing I would like to tell, the partly completed, you are right, but the title is never a sentence. The title is a title. It is not a sentence. How you we write a grammatical sentence, it will never be like that. I will not tell ki, uh, the to study about knowledge, perception, and practices towards health and hygiene. I will never tell that. So that will be my objective. But you are right that it is partly completed, it is not completed. Third, is it complete now? Knowledge, attitude, and practices towards diet and health among mothers of young children. Is it complete? Because earlier, what was missing? We didn't know about whom. Knowledge, attitude, and practice towards diet and health, okay. But about whose? Who are our target group? Here we are talking about target group. Is it complete now?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Who said no? What is missing?
Yes, sir. Area, ma'am.
Yes, very right. So what is missing? Till that is not complete. Knowledge, attitude, practices towards diet and health among mothers of young children in Keonjhar, Odisha. Matlab, I am just giving a example of a area. So my title gets complete when I tell about what I am going to study, how I am going to study, like what exactly, what indicators are there, what topic is there, whom I am going to study, and then which area I am going to study. So when you are writing a top title, very correctly write why I took a knowledge, attitude, and practice, because I know during the dissertation time, the time is not, we don't have a lot of time to do a evaluation research or a quasi experimental research or those kind of, we don't have time. We basically go with a descriptive design. So that's why I kept it knowledge, attitude, and practice. If you are putting some other, you can also write study on a study on knowledge, attitude, practices towards diet and health. You can add that as study on. That is also correct. Okay. Or a study on understanding behavior of people towards um, behavior of people towards a particular gender, towards a particular transgenders in this particular area. Something we can mention that. So whatever what I would like to tell, you tell your title completely, area, who, and what you are going to study. Then I will just talk about the preparing the table of content. So table of content, Microsoft has a very easy tool to prepare the table of content. Some of you might be already knowing, but those who don't know, I am telling for them. First, you put down the structure in a paper. Okay, what is your report structure? You write down, okay, I would like to like bullet points. Okay, then add the headings to it, headings and subheadings. Okay, then include the information under your heading and subheading. Once you do all that, review your structure, because once you include the information, you may want to take some information before something, then after something, then all that thing. Provide the page numbers, then auto update the content, and then provide a review and see whether it is everything is included. Let's do it. I will just show you a content page. Here I have already prepared, but I am just taking it out and I am again preparing it. Okay. In the Microsoft document, you have this heading 1, heading 2. This heading 1 is basically your type, you will also get here. It is in the home. In the home, you will get all these things. Okay. So if you go to heading 1, here also there is a title. Okay, I'm just taking it out. Book title, but we want to write the inside part. So that is the heading. So I'm putting heading 1. Then I'm writing introduction. Okay. After introduction, I want to, again the heading 1. This is my review of literature. Okay. Under review of literature, I am putting some subheadings. That is heading 2. Understand importance of I'm just giving okay. So you are saying now how you didn't put that heading 2, heading 2. What you just do, you can select it like this line, and click on heading 2. It will become heading 2. So that's why I'm saying first you are preparing your structure. Put down your structure. Add heading and subheading. So when you are adding heading and subheading, you can just select that. Click on heading 1, it will be heading 1. Click on heading 2, it will be your heading 2. Then maybe next one heading we can put methodology. Under methodology, you may have to put some tables. For example, sample table you want to put. So for that, go to references. Here you will see caption. In the caption, you can change it table or figure. Changing to table, it will automatically come table 1. Sample table. You want to put a table on your area of information, like for your. So automatically, if you put OK, second table is coming. This is in references, caption, insert caption. Now, what we will do, go to references. I want to prepare a table of content because all my information, I have given my heading, I have written everything. I have inserted the table. Yeah, I have also given my insert page number, bottom of the pages. Okay, everything I have done. So now what I want to do, I want to prepare a table of content. Go to your table of content page. Maybe the first page is whatever. Go to your table of content page. Click here. Go to reference, table of contents, automatic table 1. Put it down. See, everything came with the page number. No need to do anything. You want to go list down all the tables in your, like we prepared no 2 table. One is table for the sample table, area of information table. Go to references. Here near the caption there is insert table and figure. Just OK it. List of tables. It is automatically coming. Okay. So if you are changing anything, you can directly commit here. Click right click, update field. It will ask you whether the number only or entire table. If you have added some new heading or subheadings, you can make it entire table. It will get updated. Similarly, this also you can do similarly. You can update field. Yeah, you can entire table. You can do that. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the easiest way you can do the table of content. Some of you might be already knowing it, but I repeated because what I saw many a time we struggle to prepare the table of content and sometimes we miss some of the information and later we realize, oh, I didn't put my this thing in the table of content because that heading and subheading are not properly arranged. Okay. Next, let's go to the abbreviation part. Tell me which abbreviation is correct, the 1 or 2. First one or second one? Which one is correct?
Second
Everything
one.
is same.
Sec-
Yeah.
second one, ma'am.
Why?
Alphabetically. Achi.
Yes. So always arrange alphabetically. Your table of abbreviations, do not even leave a single abbreviation. Arrange all abbreviations and put it in alphabetically order. Okay. Now acknowledgement. Before I go into, I will just quickly touch this. Never always include these four. Apart from these four, you can include your family, you can include your friends, you can include many people, but always who guided you, who inspired you, who supported you, and the study respondent. These four you always put the acknowledgement. So generally, who guided you means whoever your guide or whoever your mentor. Inspired maybe your friends, family, other teachers. So all those supported means somebody who have given you permission, somebody who have kind of helped you in the preparing a tool or given you some information, area of information, helped you in the sampling plan, all that. Then who? Your study respondent. So and always keep it very not very repetitive. Each sentence will start with a different kind of line. I express my gratitude for this, for the guidance. My sincere thanks. I would like to thank. Most importantly, I thank the mothers of the for their time and response during the data collection. So each of these lines will start with a different kind of like it should be different. We should not always say, "Ki, okay, I express my thank, I express my gratitude, or I would like to thank, I would like to." So change it so that it is always rhythmic. And the last one also, you are just either when you are writing the last sentence, always write most importantly or at last or uh, like it is my immense like I'm or something which is making that you are ending that particular topic. It is clear, right? This is just I wanted to put because some of the thesis I saw that ki, okay, this is very repetitive. This is not included all kind of stakeholders who have kind of helped us. So that is a very important thing. Now coming to the executive summary. Executive summary is something people find it the most difficult to write. The whole report of 50 pages, 70 pages you write. But when it comes to executive summary, you just sit down and think what I will write. Let me clear you. This is not an abstract. Abstract is different. That you give when you are putting a research paper. There you write about this is my main objective, these are my main findings. Read more to get in the report. It is not a summary. It is not at all the introduction. You are not introducing the topic here. It is an executive summary is not a preface also. Preface is different. That is during the document when it is a government document or when it is a toolkit. Generally, a toolkit is prepared. We give a preface to it. And this is not a random collection of highlights. Ki, okay, dot, some 5, 10 dots are there in the highlights. So these are the things which we see generally what people do. They write it in form of abstract or something. But please remember these three things. Explain why research is necessary. The first paragraph should be that. Why this research is necessary, what I did. Okay. Second, you mentioned the broad objective of this topic is this. The the study adopted this methodology and this many sample covered. This many mothers were covered in this location. Sample is this much. Sample selection was done using this method. Second paragraph. Third paragraph is your major finding. The overall the study found that ki, okay, there is an increase in the knowledge, decrease in the practices, or this that. A broad finding, third paragraph, and then writing something about the detailed report is arranged in this way. Let me just show you one of the report that we have prepared for Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. This executive summary is a see the first line. what I told you. Explain why the research necessary. By 2050. Why? Because India is going to be the most urban populated thing by 2050. It is important to understand how the services are there. That's why this study is important. The first paragraph. Second, the key objective. Always not necessary to write this key objective like this. You can write the broad objective, then you write. No need to write in bullet point. You can write in a paragraph way also. Then comes your methodology. Here it is an infographic report. That's why we have put down all these things. But your methodology, okay. It is the methodology we captured this. There are this many pillars, this many indicators, this many things. And we did like in each city, we have given this thing, the index was created, the percentages were calculated. So this is all about your methodology. Then comes your result. Again, as it is an infographic report, we have given a long result, but this can be written in a paragraph. This important thing were found, and then giving a conclusion to it. Okay. How it is going to help? Apart from being a tool, comparative benchmark assessment, it also could potentially trigger action on various of the things. So what we found, this can also help something. So that is something your complete executive summary. So when you're writing the executive summary, always keep in mind this. First, put down your thought. Explain why the research. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Broad objective methodology sample covered. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Major finding 1, 2, 3, 4. Way forward 1, 2, 3, 4. Then make it sentence and put it down. Then your executive summary is complete. And with when you will work more report, write every day, write a lot, then it will always refine. But always remember to include this. Clear? Anything here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. 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 Shall we go further to the introduction?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. Then again the introduction. Introduction is not review of literature. A review of literature you are doing. Introduction is separate from your review of literature. In introduction, what you do? Introduction, you don't write about lot of things because review of literature, what I will come after this. Introduction may you have to include certain things like provide the background flags. How you are going to provide the background? Always, as we are into social work profession or social science profession, whatever topic we are kind of discussing now, everything is linked to sustainable development goals. Or if we are doing something in the aspirational district, then it is linked to some of the government of India priorities, right? Always start linking with your some priorities. Okay. What is the priority currently for this population? Why it is important? Start with that. Okay. This is sustainable development goal. 3 says health and well-being for all. In this indicator 1 and 2 talks about this maternal health or some of the India report. If you find like Niti Aayog's, this report talks about this. Start with that. Give a background to you, a strong background saying that why it is globally or at the national level important also. Maybe you are talking about a particular tribe. That tribe is only in Odisha, not in other country, other cities, other states. But you can talk about the overall tribal status, overall tribal thing there. Then you come narrow it down. Then you talk about the current status. What is the status? What is the challenge? What is the status currently? Maybe at the national level, at the state level. Then how the studying this topic will be helpful. So that's why it is important to study this area. So you are providing a background. This is clear. Then you are defining your topic. Then you are talking more about your topic, how you selected the topic. That's why I talked about documentation is important. You selected okay, there are many issues across, like women are facing different issues. Women and maternal and child health has different issues. which ranges from the community cultural issues, health issues, and other issues. But this particular topic is focusing specifically on the health issue and so and so. Then that will go into your rationale. Yes, why I am doing this. That rationale is coming. Then you are explaining the structure of the report. Yes, you provided the background, you talked about your topic, then you are providing structure of your report. Do not think about the how many pages. It is not required to have some 10 pages ka introduction. 3-4 pages is also fine, or 3 pages is also fine when you are doing a dissertation. Make it very clear, very focused, and you should be 100% clear whatever you are putting in your introduction, why you are putting. Keep your introduction to write at the end of the, once you write the whole chapter, then you write your introduction, then you write your executive summary. So your introduction, but you keep putting, like when you are doing some findings, when you are doing some review, some observation you keep putting under these points. Okay, I will write this down. I will write this. So when you come back, you have enough points to kind of write your introduction. Okay. And if you are citing a separate study in your introduction, or a government report in your introduction, or a global report in your introduction, always acknowledge that. Provide the source. That is important throughout your research paper. Then explain the structure. What is the structure? This report is arranged in 7 chapters. The chapter 1 talks about this, chapter 2 talks about this, chapter 3 talks about this, chapter 4 about this, chapter 5 about this. So that when a person sees your introduction, he knows what all things he should expect. He knows what is the background, why you are doing. Then he knows how you are selected, what you are going to talk about it. Then what are the topic covered? Clear? Anything in this point?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Then next we will talk about why review of literature. Review of literature you must have already done, right? Some of you might have already started, right? It is important to know why we are doing a review of literature. So this is something very, I like personally a lot. So this is something I learned from someone, like one of the teacher, when that person was talking about review of literature way back when I was doing my, like it's maybe some 5, 7, 8 years back. Yes. And this I liked, and this became my mantra. And now I can say that, okay, this is an art. Doing review of literature is an art, because it is not an easy job. You are reviewing somebody else, whatever that person has written. You need to give the justification why you are reviewing that person, why you are reviewing that thing, and what you want to extract from that. It should not be some random article you are going to review. It should be very, very systematic. That's why you are doing the review, that is important. And this review of literature will help you to narrow down your topic, to exactly tell you what you want to include in your tools, what objective you want to cover. Okay. So first you need to understand if there are many studies already done in this topic. If yes, what are the gaps? What those studies are talking about this? What are the common thing about across all the studies? Maybe all the studies are talking about certain same aspect. Maybe there are only few studies which are talking about us something which other studies are not telling. So you need to know what is widely spoken and what is not so widely. That will help you to kind of, if in your community, what you want to focus. Second thing, if there is not many studies done, then you have to start searching about why there is a need to do this study, because you have to do the justification. You have to talk. Some of the people have recommended this, but still it is not done. What is the need and why it is needed? So this is, if you know this, then how you are structuring your review of literature, that will become very, very easy. Okay. Okay. So before we go that, let's do one review of literature. Uh, This is not a very great article, but I just downloaded because something, the topic which I wrote that was similar to this. I'll just take out the highlights. Yeah. This is visible, right? I would just like all of you to read this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Read this. Yeah. Just give me 1 second. Sorry. Ayo, sorry. Just done. You all of you have read it.
Yes, ma'am.
All done. Any other person wants to confirm?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, where my call? Just 1 second. Just one. Hello. Yeah. So you all have read that, right? Yes. So if I ask you to write the review of this, how you are going to write? Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
anyone? If I ask you to write the review of this, like you have already read.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So let me just share the screen again. You read this one, and let me go to the uh, review part. Yeah.
This
So
is the mm,
yeah. So I would just like to tell you, review of literature is a very, very systematic process. So you read that whole paragraph of some 550 words, isn't it? But you need to write it in your own word, in just like in simple way. You cannot take it like, okay, um 47, the study revealed that 47% infants were mostly breastfed, and in bracket this and this. No, if you are writing directly like that, then this is something not giving you, it's you need to paraphrase it. That is a very important skill, and you start practicing it. Okay, so even if you're writing that this directly, you need to give a context to it, then only you have to write it. So I have the same thing, I have just written it down in a paraphrase manner. A study by Arnagal and Chawla on knowledge, attitude, and practice of lactating mothers had discussed different aspects of MNCs, such as child health, breastfeeding, antenatal care, and mothers' dietary habits. This study indicated that while there was improvement in dietary habits regarding cultural practices such as not fasting during religious ritual, there were concerns around mothers' knowledge about antenatal care, vaccination, and nutrition status of children. Same thing, what you read, I covered everything, isn't it? But I paraphrased it. What I did, I gave a context to it, then I wrote it in my own language. So let me just tell you one of the important thing, which is very, very important when you are going to do a review of literature. Put down a document. Just put down a document. Review of literature number 1. You can also put down a date here. Date here. What you do, and that number you put, rename your document's name also like that. Create a folder, rename the document's name number 1, put down the all the information. What is the title of the study, who are the author of the study, what is the journal name, what is the volume, and all the thing. Then you read that abstract first, whether it is of your use. Yes, no, not used, don't do. It is of your use, read that, read the methodology, read the conclusion, paraphrase, and put down your thing. Once you do this, if there is any additional information which you may need while you are writing your findings, or you may need for your introduction or some other places, put it down here. Then put down your reference in the API format. Then again go to the number 2. This document will be ready for you when you are going to finally do that. You no need to search here and there, where is my review, where is my topic, okay, this I have taken, I don't know where is the source, my source may be somewhere else, I am not able to download now, that report is not at all available there. So all these kind of issues will happen and you will not be able to write it down. So always start with a separate document for your review of literature. Put down the source always and your paraphrased. Is it clear? And it actually helps. Till now, till in my research agency as well, whenever I have to do anything, I go through this. And this practice actually helped me a lot, not missing my documents, not missing my reviews. Because sometimes you will find a very good study, but you will not be able to do. Why? Because you might have missed it somewhere. So maintain in this way. Same thing I have just put down here. Your source, you are just putting down, then you are converting to a API format, American Psychological Association from APA format. Sorry, it is not API, APA format. So you are putting down all the details. First, the last name, then it is available. Now the tools are also available. So you can Google it and you will find it how to write. Basically the last name, then the initial dot, then all the authors names will come like this. Then in bracket it is coming, the year will come, then the whole study name will come, then which journal will come, then the volume will come, issue number, page number. And then if you have downloaded from a website, that website you can copy paste here, means that link you can copy paste here. Okay. Now let us discuss about some of the thumb rules for the review of literature. It is a continuous process. It starts from before you start your review topic, and it ends by see, it starts before you start your topic and it ends till you complete your data collection and your finding. Review of literature is not a one type job every time, because when you are doing the data collection and finding and writing it down, maybe you are finding something and you have to review again to see okay, whether other data, other reports are also saying something similar or not. So it is a continuous process. Focus on geography. If you are doing study in Odisha, focus on Odisha, India. Do not talk much about what happened in Ethiopia, what happened in US, what happened in other countries. You can give a background. Some theories you can bring from those studies. That is fine. But when you're talking about status, challenges, those kind of things, always focus on your geography. Focus on research, recent research. Do not go dated research. It should not be beyond 10 years. Like it is should be always recent, like within last 5 years is always good. But for master degree dissertation, you can go till 10 years, but do not go beyond it. Yes, you can go beyond 10. That if you are kind of talking about a chronological thing, ki this happened in 70, again the same phenomenon is happening in 2013, again the same phenomenon is coming. So in that case, you can go, but that is a different thing. But here, when you are doing a review of literature, do not go beyond 10 years. Paraphrasing, I already told. Paraphrase it. Do not write as it is. Organize logically. So when you should not put hypothetically. What we did here, when we did review of literature, we put down some subheadings, right? These subheadings will help you to put down the logically, linking one paragraph to other paragraph. Okay. Then include sources. The references always include. And do not make it very like it is, avoid making it repetitive. What happens many times we start, okay, A and B said this, C and D said this happened, that happened. No, you can use, sometimes it can be very repetitive. So use different word according to A and B, as per this study, so and so in their study showed this, so and so discussed this, explained this, recommended this. So all this vocabulary you keep it ready, so that when you are writing, it is not repetitive, it is a rhythmic thing. These are very basic things, but this will make your dissertation look very good and you will feel good about it. Yeah. So anything here? Shall we go?
Yes, go for it.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Now let's talk about the methodology. You said that the methodology is the most difficult part, right? So methodology, when we are starting, we always start with the objective and the hypothesis. Objectives and the hypothesis in the methodology. Sorry, yeah. Objectives and the hypothesis is something we start. So these are the broad objective is this. The uh the like focused objective of this study is this. These are specific objectives. Then you are writing a paragraph about considerations for the research design. You know why it is important. Many of the study do not include this. I actually got it when I am kind of like working with some of the organizations, and I realized why it is important to write a consideration before I propose a research design. What do I mean by considerations? Considerations are nothing but what is like giving a context to it. Why I am choosing a descriptive design here, because this is something known about it. I know this particular area. This area has this many this issue which is as per this it is already mentioned. So writing it down maybe 3-4 lines, that is also important. Why you are adopting this particular design, why not some other design? Write it down first, brainstorm about it. Is it because something is known and I want to further test it? Is that the requirement? Or something is not known, that's why I'm exploring it? Or I am, or this is something, this area is already kind of like highlighted area, so many government programs are there, still it is visibly something is not done and there is no studies done, that's why I want to explore more. Is it about that? So just write your considerations in 2, 3, 4 lines, not more than that, but write it. So when you start writing it, you will start thinking why you are going to do this study, and that will give a credential to your report, and you can go to a research design. Then you explain your research design. Okay, this study adapted a descriptive design. Do not just stop there. Descriptive design, mention what aspect of descriptive design, how the descriptive design is made. Means how, means like yes, the descriptive design is prepared, the descript it describes, because it intends to describe this aspect of the community, of the respondent, isn't it? So then describe that whole thing. Then you write about tool development steps. Put down a smart chart. Write down, okay, I followed the following steps for the developing the tool. Step 1. Step 1 was review of literature. What are the kind of thing you studied? I checked these are the things were reviewed when developing a tool, like the earlier study reports, the earlier study, like the some of the, you can directly write some of the standard tools were kind of reviewed. Some of the standard tools, some of the items are directly taken from the standard tool. Then information areas were created. Like what are the information area I want to study? I want to study about the pre-delivery, what was the issue? Then post-delivery, what was the issue? Child-related health, what was the issue? These are my broad information area. In that information area, what are the narrow information areas? Then those information area, I converted that into questionnaire and the options. Mention that in 4 or 5 points. Write down what are your information areas and how that got converted. That is your, then you write about your sample coverage. So why? Because what is the total universe of that area? Why you adapted the sample? If purposive, why purposive? If random, why random? Then in random, then what kind of what kind of probability sampling you adapted? What is the rationale behind it? And then put down your table. Not much, but you are writing everything. Then you come to the limitations of the study. There is no research without a limitation. If limitation is not there in your uh, report, that means something grossly missed. Limitation will always be there. All the research. Maybe you are saying, okay, maybe time and resources not having, that is also a limitation. You wanted to study more. You want to recommend a further study, but in your study, you could only study this much. You wanted to include these further questions, but there was a time constraint to complete each interview into 15 minutes because of the community, the type of community we went to, or the cultural thing what is practiced in the community. That was one of the thing because of which you had to kind of like translate that into a language which was a different language, and you had to hire other people to do the interview which language you could not understand, and you think there may be a small data gap, so that may be a issue also. So there may be a small. So write down your limitations, 1, 2, 3, whatever the limitations, write it down. Is it clear now how to write a methodology chapter?
Yes, ma'am.
So you are covering everything and just put it down in a way that you are covering all these points in your methodology chapter. Then the important thing comes, your final thing is your discussion on the findings. What are the things? Data presentation, describing data, take away from the data. Presentation, you all know, isn't it? The chart, graph, bar chart, all that thing. You can describe also what is there in the chart. But this key takeaway is something which will make your story strong, which will connect the dots, which will connect it with the people's emotion, people's problem. So that is what is important. So that to think through that is important. So we will quickly see our data and then we will come back here. I am just presenting a dummy data. It is not the actual data. It's yeah, and some small questions. It is visible, right? Yeah. This is the respondent ID, gender as mother, all are female. Age group with 35 years till 35 years age group is there. Number of children, age of the children in year and month. Generally, when we are taking young children, we always take an year and month. So that's why in two different column it is there. There is a question, are you breastfeeding your child currently? How often have you experienced any of the following in last 6 months? This question, if you ask, have you experienced this? Then people may answer yes or no. But if you want to know how often, whether it is just once, twice, once, more than twice, either you can give it as range or you can give a particular time. You can give a particular what? Either you can give a range or you can give a particular this often, very often, sometimes, never. So I have given it a three scale. Often, sometimes, never. We also give it as a 5 scale, like very often, sometimes, rarely, never. Okay. So these are the things. Okay. So we have done the pivot table here. I will just show you. Let me just delete this data. What I'll do, pivot table you must be already knowing. Sir must have told you that you are selecting the whole thing. Then you are going to the insert pivot table from external from the table range. If you are selecting this, automatically it is coming in your this table. So you will find these fields. So are you currently breastfeeding your child? Isn't it? Yeah. So it is total 89, 52 says no, 37 says yes. Here only you can change it to a percentage. Right click, go to show value as percentage of column total. This is a column. This is a row. So if you want column total means this is your total. So you need to know whether you want a column total or a row total. If there is data like this and this side there are total are there, you may need a row total. But here we need a column total. Column total. It got converted to percentage. You want to make it whole number. Just select these two. Here above you can select it. Okay. Now this can be a pie chart, isn't it? This can be easily a pie chart because it is 100%. One thing you remember, one of the mistake people do sometimes the multiple response question, they also do a pie chart. No, that is not possible. This is a multiple response question. It will always go more than 100%. If it is a yes, no also, it will go more than 100%. What I am asking, have you experienced like all this? So for each of these option, I am taking their responses. So for each of this option item becomes my single response. But if I want to take, okay, how many people have kind of experienced all this? This is kind of like whether continuous this is a multiple response. Like how many of these are experienced by people? So then this become my multiple. So that's why I don't do it as a pie chart. Pie chart is when your total is 100%. Then only you can do a pie chart. Okay. This is done.
Yes, ma'am.
I have presented it here. What we can write? Traditionally, sometimes we write 58% mothers mention that they are currently not breastfeeding their child. Okay. We can also write 6 out of 10. This is a better way of writing also because 2/3 of the people said this because it is more readable. Like you are right, but you need to maintain a consistency. If you are writing percentage, write percentage throughout. If you are writing in this format, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, or 2/3 or 1/4, then or it is kind of nearly about. Why I used about? Because it is not 60%, it is just 58.43. So about 6 out of 10 people, 10 mothers said that they are not breastfeeding their child, is it? So if you are writing this, your this much point is over. Data presentation and describing the data. For key takeaways, you need to ask your data further. Is this enough? Or can I write something more? Check the profile. Who are these people who are not breastfeeding their children? What is their age? How many children they have? What is their family condition? Are they working, not working? Do they have any other thing? Why? To find that reason. So that will connect with you with the exact issue. You may say, if you say that 60% of the mothers are not breastfeeding their children, Then the second question will come ki, okay, what happened then? What is required? You said ki education is required, but maybe it is not required. Maybe it is something else. Maybe in that particular there is a cultural issue, or in that particular community there is a the all the women are going for a kind of like for working, most of the women, and they don't have a freezer or they don't have a storing system where they can like store the breast milk. So those kind of issues may be there, isn't it? So you need to check what is the profile. I'm just giving one example, but there will be lot many examples like this. So what I checked, I tried to check. Let me check the people who are saying no. How, what is the age of the children? So here the age of the children I have taken age in year, age in month. Then what I did, I have put down this formula. I am just showing you this formula. It is very easy because I want to merge both of the things. You select this equal to, select this, put and, start semicolon, put at dash, start semicolon, then and, then you select the second one. Then you drag. This is 1 year, 2 months. Okay. So 1 year, 2 months. So when you're going here, you are seeing about 14% mothers of children below 1 year are not breastfeeding their children, which is a concern. So you need to further understand ki, okay, if you provide this information, then that is something more you are talking about. Because, okay, if a mother has stopped breastfeeding after 2 years, that is fine. But if it is a child is below 1 year, but still not done, then that is a concern. So that extra information you can provide here. You can check the health status of those mother. How many of them has said that okay, they are feeling weak, they have fever, diarrhea, low BP, they are constantly feeling sad, not interested in things, means some kind of mental health issues they have. Are they talking about that? Is that a cause of that? So when you do this kind of analysis, you will find. So maybe you are presenting your data like this, but when you are explaining, add more to it. Question your data. If you are finding something very grossly which should not be done, then you find question to that. See the profile. Who are those people? Go back to your data. Check your data. Then the second thing is this health issue wala thing. Okay. One of the way to prepare is like this. Weakness is often this many feeling, sometimes this many, never this many. Then you prepared a chart. One of the way is this. This is the simplest way. Okay. But if I ask you a question, how many mother are facing more than one have are facing more than one health issues in last 6 months, and how many mother have never faced any issue? In this kind of question, always go to that level. When you have multiple responses, no, you always go to that level to understand how many are facing and how many are not facing. So how you will do it? This is a very simple. I will share this data file with you. Very simple formula. The formula will be there. I want to know how many have not faced any issue, have not experienced any issue. So I want to count how many never are there in each row. Just make count if, select all this data, comma, semicolon, write never, semicolon over, sorry, semicolon, this coveted come over, then just drag it down. Okay. So how many are there? 6. If you filter, you find that there are 14 uh, 14 women, which is nearly 20 to 23% of women. They have not faced any issue. Then I am just easily calculating how many have faced more than one issue. All issues. So there are about one person who have mentioned all issues, and there are about 75 people, which is a huge number, which is about like what? About 75 means it is nearly 85%, because 89 is our, they are they are having one or other issue in last 6 months, which is a major finding. So if you talk about put down only this, you may think, oh, only mental health issue is something which people are facing. Acha, okay, sad, like mental, it's sorry, never, sorry, it's not mental health. Only low BP and diarrhea are something which majorly women have faced. But if you want to talk more about this data, you can tell about how many women who have faced all these issues, how many women who have faced more than one issues, how many women who have not faced any issues. So that kind of analysis you can do when you have a multiple response question. This data file I will share with you. So prepare your analysis plan. Once your data is collected, prepare an analysis plan, put down serial number, question, then what will be your table title? Okay. How we are giving the table title here, no? Then you will not struggle later, your figure or table title. Age of mother, breastfeeding practices, health issues experienced by mother in last 6 months. So rather than putting the whole question, you can put your table title. Then, is there a cross tab required? Checking with age, cross tab, or health status, cross tab, then you can put down here. Then how you are going to present the data? Pie chart, bar chart, just a table, how you are going to put the data. This will help you to organize your data, do the analysis, and put the finding. We are not going into statistical analysis now, because for that also you can put down here, but we are not going to that. That is a whole different session altogether. But what I am trying to tell, put down your analysis plan before you start analyzing. That will help you. But if you are not able to think your analysis plan, put down for few questions, try it out, then you will be able to think further. Okay. Then the thumb rules are always connect with your objective, prepare an analysis plan, think, ask question, who are these people, why they are saying like this. Start writing recommendation suggestion with while writing your findings. Your mind should work in that way. Okay, I have to recommend something on this point, something on this point, something on this point. Keep that in a separate document. Keep it writing. Okay, I have to mention on this table number 5 ka finding, I have to recommend something. I have to recommend something. Then you will not struggle later to write your recommendation. Then the last part is conclusion. Again, conclusion is a very, sometimes people find it very difficult to write. Again, it is not just a summary. It is a whole of summarize the finding across what is the emerging themes are there. It is not just talking about, okay, 60% women are doing this, 50% women are not doing this, but writing something more. What helps me, I would like to tell you, I just put down 2 boxes. What are the things where everything is good? What are the things where improvement is required? Then I start writing my summary. I write, okay, these are the points where the community is doing good, their knowledge is good, their practices are good. These are the things. These are the points where improvement is required. So that always helps. So we also do SWOT analysis. What are the strength, weakness of the community? What are the opportunities in the community? But at this dissertation stage, you can keep it simple. What is doing good? What is not so doing good? And what, based on that not so doing good, you can further recommend. Then closer. After that, you say that, okay, this is my objective. This is my response to the objective. Then put your suggestion. In the suggestion, do not put a standard suggestion like, okay, education, community member are not so educated, so that's why we need to give education. No. In your questionnaire, include a question about suggestions. Do you have any difficulty? What are your suggestions? Do you want any further information about nutrition? Do you want ever further information about this? Put down some suggestions. Based on that, write down the suggestion for your respondent separately. And based on what you have interpreted the data, write down your suggestions differently. So your suggestions and respondent suggestion may be similar or different, but tell it clearly. This has come directly from the respondent. This is something based on the interpretation. Okay. Do not write here. Avoid writing any suggestions from the review of literature. No, review of literature is over now. Now you have to talk your story. You are giving closer to it and giving a vision to it. Ki what further? Then your conclusion is complete. There are some reading materials I have provided. Thank you. Now, any question, anything, I'll just stop sharing. You can put your questions. Yeah.
How can
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Anyone? Yeah. Yes. Yes, Samir. Please tell me. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. In the private section, the formula you applied on the Excel sheet, it was not clear to me. So I want to recap it.
Yeah. I will be sharing that Excel sheet with you so that you can see the formula. How to the formula is already there. You have to just click F2 on that. Then you will be able to see how I have applied the formula.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Thanks, ma'am.
This is a dummy data. This data is not collected anywhere. The questions are taken from some other questionnaire, but the data I have just put down. Yeah, I'll select.
ma'am, how can
Yes,
hello?
yes, please
Ma'am,
tell
how
me.
can we prepare good questions for collecting data questionnaires?
For preparing good questionnaire, you need to first review the earlier questionnaires. That is your starting point. If already one thumb rule you always remember, put your objective first. Under your objective, put down the information area. If you want to study the nutrition, knowledge about the nutrition among the young mothers, then put down that is your objective, one objective. For that, what are the information area you need? Those information area you put down. Convert that information area into question. Put down the options. For that, review some of the questionnaire already exist in the open sources, because sometimes we go very much to create a new questionnaire. No, it is not required all the time. We have a repository of knowledge. You can go to that. Sodh Ganga, you can go to that, which is a PhD thesis. All the PhD thesis are uploaded there. So you can go there and your topic, you can search the topic related to your topic. Some of the things you will find good, some of the things you will find not so good. Judge that, ki what is important. One of the important thing I will tell you, avoid leading questions. Leading questions means, are you using this? Are you using toilet? No. How many of your household member using toilet? That is an indirect question rather than are you using toilet. People will be, oh, very much like they will be in front of you, not tell you that, no, I'm not using toilet. They'll say, yes, I'm using toilet. But if you say how many of your household member, they will say, okay, we have total 5 members, 4 are using. Can I know who is not using toilet? Oh, it's a child. It's an elderly person or something. Then you are getting your data a little more. So avoid leading question. Or if you are asking directly, if a person has TB, would you would you allow that person to enter your house? People will say yes, yes, yes. I know a lot, because they will not tell you directly. Why? Because there is a social desirability bias. Okay, I don't want to be a bad face in the society. But if you ask differently, we understand people with TB is a contaminated disease. You are providing a background, but some of the people, some of the people are already showing some of the concern. Do you have any concern around it? Then that concern will come. Okay. So prepare a indirect question. Then the third and important point is, put down your options which are mutually exclusive and exhaustive. Means what? Your options should not overlap. If you have 5 options, option 2 and 3 should be completely different. Otherwise, the respondent will get confused and you will also get confused which one to select. So these are the 3 key point, but there are lot many things. And yeah, so for the time being, I'm just telling these 3 key points which repeated mistake all of us do. So that's, yeah.
Okay, I think with this actually we'll conclude today's session. For all our participants, for their information, I can tell you all, this is a kind of kickstart for dissertation writing or proposal writing that we have started, that we have initiated, which is not happening earlier for social work students. And again, for our understanding, so research is not very narrow. To understand the research, our speaker in all the 3 days, whatever they told, for every aspect we need to have again further additional knowledge on that. To fulfill that requirement, we may organize other workshops to discuss on a particular issue, like how to design the sample, how to finalize the objective, and how to review the literatures. On all the basic components of a proposal or a dissertation, we can organize other workshop or seminar based on your interest, presence, and requirement. So one more thing I have to let you know, that regarding based on the last discussion, we have shared a interview schedule along with a database with you, but only 17 or 18 responses we could get. I was thinking like to prepare different chart, graph, tables, all these things based on your data, but that could not be possible because of very less responses from you. So I hope your participation will increase in the near future, and your interest towards research will also increase, and all the speakers, what they oriented you regarding the research, will definitely be helpful for you to conduct your research, write your proposal or dissertation or report, whatever you want. So thank you, Dr. Das. And
Thank-
I I I must say you all that she has a serious throat problem. Apart from that, she could deliver for more than 1.5 an hour. So we are really grateful and thankful to you. With this pen, you taught us
Okay.
regarding writing the proposal, dissertation, and very clearly she told different components of an article and what is there in each component. And starting from the title, she again repeated all those things till the bibliography and references. So I'm sure it will be definitely helpful to all, and in future, based on your requirement, we will organize a similar type of other workshops which can help you to in your professional life to conduct research or whatever field you need in the field of social work. We are there to support you. Thank you so much. And I request you all to write to us in the mail that we have given, and the group also we have created for the training and workshop. Please, you can also add other members to this group, those who can really benefited out of this group. And through this group, we will discuss and organize other programs based on your requirement. Thank you so much. Good night.
Yeah, good night, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.